Macedonia, a kingdom in northern Greece, was not always powerful. It was considered a backwater by the sophisticated Greeks to the south. Then came Philip II, a shrewd and ambitious king. Philip, Alexander the Great's father, transformed the Macedonian army. He introduced new tactics and equipment like the long spear called the sarissa. This made his army formidable. Philip was also a skilled diplomat. He used a combination of military force and clever alliances to bring the Greek city-states under his control. He knew that a united Greece would be strong enough to challenge the Persian Empire to the east. By the time of his death, Philip had laid the groundwork for his son to conquer much of the known world. Philip was assassinated in 336 BC, leaving his kingdom to his son Alexander. Alexander was only 20 years old, but he was already a skilled soldier and leader. He quickly moved to secure his father's conquests and then set his sights on the Persian Empire. The stage was set for one of the most remarkable military campaigns in history. A young king, driven by ambition and destiny, was about to change the course of the ancient world. Alexander the Great was born in Pella, the capital of Macedon, in 356 BC. His father, Philip II, was a powerful king. His mother, Olympias, was a fierce and independent woman. Alexander inherited qualities from both parents. He was strong and courageous like his father. He was also intelligent and ambitious like his mother. Alexander received the finest education available. His tutor was the renowned philosopher Aristotle. Aristotle taught Alexander about philosophy, literature, science, and politics. These subjects would influence Alexander's thinking and actions as a ruler. Even as a young boy, Alexander showed exceptional courage and intelligence. There is a famous story about Alexander taming a wild horse named Bucephalus. This horse was so wild that no one could ride it, but Alexander was able to calm the horse and ride it with ease. This story reveals Alexander's character. He was fearless and determined to succeed. These qualities would serve him well when he became king and embarked on his conquests. After Philip's assassination, Alexander faced challenges to his rule. He quickly dealt with rivals and rebellions in Greece. He then turned his attention eastward towards the Persian Empire. The Persians, ruled by Darius III, were a wealthy and powerful enemy. Alexander's army crossed the Hellespont, now the Dardanelles, into Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey, in 334 BC. His force was smaller than the Persian army, but Alexander was a brilliant tactician. He had also inherited his father's powerful army. Alexander's first major victory against the Persians came at the Battle of Granicus River. This victory opened up Asia Minor to the Macedonians. Alexander then marched south, liberating Greek cities from Persian rule. He encouraged his soldiers with the promise of riches and glory. The Battle of Issus in 333 BC was another decisive victory for Alexander. He outmaneuvered and defeated Darius III himself, who fled the battlefield. This victory gave Alexander control of the eastern Mediterranean coast. It cleared the path for his advance into the heart of the Persian Empire. The Battle of Gaugamela, fought in 331 BC near the village of Gaugamela in Mesopotamia, was one of the most important battles in history. It marked the final and decisive encounter between Alexander the Great and Darius III of Persia. Darius had assembled a massive army, drawn from all corners of his vast empire. He was determined to stop Alexander's advance. The Persian army included chariots with scythed wheels and war elephants. These were fearsome weapons. Despite being outnumbered, Alexander's army was well-trained and disciplined. Alexander himself led the charge, displaying his characteristic courage and tactical brilliance. The Macedonian phalanx, armed with long pikes, proved to be a decisive advantage against the Persian infantry. Alexander's victory at Gaugamela shattered the Persian Empire. Darius III fled, later murdered by his own men. Alexander entered Babylon, the Persian capital, in triumph. He went on to conquer other major Persian cities, including Susa and Persepolis. Section 5, To the Ends of the Earth, Alexander's March East and the Indian Campaign. After conquering the Persian Empire, Alexander's thirst for conquest was not satisfied. He turned his army eastward, marching through what is now Afghanistan and Pakistan. He aimed to reach the eastern edge of the known world. Alexander's army faced new challenges in these unfamiliar lands. The terrain was difficult and the local tribes were fierce warriors. In Afghanistan, Alexander founded the city of Alexandria Eshati, meaning Alexandria the furthest. In 326 BC, Alexander reached the Indus River, the eastern border of the Persian Empire. He crossed the river and fought a major battle against King Porus at the Hydaspes River. Alexander won the battle. Impressed by Porus's courage, he allowed him to continue ruling his kingdom as a satrap. Alexander's soldiers, exhausted from years of campaigning, refused to go any further east. Disappointed but recognizing the limits of his army's endurance, Alexander agreed to turn back. On the return journey, Alexander's army suffered heavy losses from disease and heat exhaustion. Section 6. A world transformed, the legacy of Alexander's conquests. Alexander the Great died in Babylon in 323 BC at the age of 32. The cause of his death is uncertain, with theories ranging from malaria to poisoning. Despite his short life, Alexander left an indelible mark on history. His conquests had far-reaching cultural, political, and economic consequences. Alexander's empire stretched from Greece in the west to the Indus River in the east. It encompassed a vast array of cultures and peoples. Alexander's ambition was not only to conquer, but also to create a new world order. He promoted the fusion of Greek and Eastern cultures. This led to the emergence of Hellenistic civilization, a blend of Greek and Oriental elements, which flourished for centuries after his death. Alexander founded numerous cities throughout his empire, many named Alexandria in his honor. These cities became centers of trade, learning, and culture. The most famous of these cities was Alexandria in Egypt, which became a renowned center of scholarship and trade. Section 7. The empire divided, the successors and the wars of the Diadochi. Alexander's vast empire did not survive his death intact. He left no clear heir, and his generals, known as the Diadochi, meaning successors, fought amongst themselves for control of the empire. This period of conflict is known as the Wars of the Diadochi. The empire was eventually divided into several Hellenistic kingdoms ruled by Alexander's generals and their descendants. The most powerful of these kingdoms were the Ptolemaic kingdom in Egypt, the Seleucid Empire in Asia, and the Antigonid dynasty in Macedon. The Wars of the Diadochi had a profound impact on the political landscape of the Hellenistic world. The constant warfare and shifting alliances created a period of instability, but also fostered cultural exchange and innovation. Section 8. Echoes of Grandeur, the enduring impact of Alexander and his empire. Although Alexander's empire fragmented, his legacy continued to resonate throughout the ancient world and beyond. He became a legend in his own time, romanticized and mythologized in literature, art, and folklore. His military genius inspired generations of military leaders, from Hannibal to Napoleon. Alexander's conquest helped to spread Greek language and culture throughout the Eastern Mediterranean and beyond. This cultural diffusion, known as Hellenism, had a profound impact on the development of art, architecture, philosophy, and science in the Hellenistic world. Even today, Alexander the Great remains a figure of fascination and debate. Historians and scholars continue to study his life, conquests, and legacy, debating his motivations, achievements, and impact on the course of history. Section 9. Conclusion. A legacy forged in conquest and cultural exchange. The story of the Macedonian Empire is a tale of ambition, conquest, and cultural exchange on an unprecedented scale. From the foundations laid by Philip II to the meteoric rise and conquests of Alexander the Great, the Macedonian Empire left an indelible mark on the ancient world. Alexander's empire may have been short-lived, but his legacy continues to resonate today. His conquests helped to spread Greek culture and ideas, shaping the course of Western civilization. His story continues to captivate and inspire, reminding us of the enduring power of ambition, leadership, and the interconnectedness of human history.